Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself for us?
Yes. So my name is Jason Gardner. I do a lot of things. Primarily right now, I'm the co-host of Strange Fruit Podcast for Louisville Public Media. I'm also a community activist. I'm a writer, public speaker, do lots of events, and I've been an activist for about 20 years.
Awesome. Can you share with us a little bit about some of the oppression that you see in our local community?
Yeah, so I think that over the last 20 years, things have gotten better, but a lot of the root issues still remain the same, and that is that racism is still very present, as it is everywhere in America. I mean, I think that Louisville is a very progressive city in a lot of ways, but there's always kind of an underlying white supremacy, anti-blackness that exists. I mean, I think I look to the point of like there being very few black elected officials under 30 years old, right? The fact we've never had a black mayor. Um, there's some disproportionate poverty in West Louisville, right? You talk about corporate CEOs and heads of organizations. Very few of them are black. So I think that racism is a problem in the city. Things like transportation inequity, the fact that if you live in the West End or if you live downtown, your buses may be delayed, they may be dirty, the air conditioning might not work. If you live in the East End or Indiana, you have express buses that are clean, the Wi-Fi works. So I think that like there's racialized oppression. There's certainly an economic um, oppressive system in terms of poor folk. And I would like to see more strides being made to declare Louisville a sanctuary city, to really become much more welcoming to immigrants. We have a vibrant immigrant community, but there's still some kind of xenophobia going on as well. And of course, just like everywhere else, there's always sexism and misogyny going on. I mean, we've had a number of scandals in local government with sexual harassment from TARC to City Hall. So I would like to see all those addressed. So I think like just like anywhere there's issues of racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, those things are present here in Louisville, like anywhere else.
What do you think, if you could, off the top of your head, what specific policies do you think have had the most negative effect on the African American community?
I think certainly, before my time, but issues like redlining, things that created what we call the Ninth Street Divide, where it was very intentional to create a system whereby people who lived in West Louisville did not have access to a lot of the things that people east of Ninth Street had access to. It's no accident that there's no grocery stores there, there's no shopping malls there, there's no healthy places to eat. That there's primarily churches and liquor stores. And while those are part of a capitalist system, liquor stores are part of capitalism and churches are very necessary, I think that people in West Louisville deserve to have as many things as people on the East End that they enjoy. I think so. I think certainly redlining. I think that policies, including the city county merger, negatively affected Black people. Before the city and county merged in the late '90s, early 2000s, you had a metro council. Back then, it was a city council of 12 people, and a significant amount of those were Black people. I think 4 of the 12 were Black people, and you go from 4 of 12 to now 4 or 5 of 26 or 28. And so I think that Black political power got diluted when the city government merged. I think those policies. I think there's some issues to be addressed within the school system in terms of suspension rates of Black students, in terms of access to resources, in terms of what teachers go to what schools. So I think that there's certainly some racial disparities happening in the school system as well. So those are a few of the policies I think that are policies or laws that still negatively impact Black folks.
What do you would you say are some of the better policies that have emerged
Some policies that have emerged to help folks locally or nationally. Do you mean like
locally?
local policies?
Either way you want to go, it's
Yeah,
fine.
let me think on that for just a moment. I think that there are a number of, I wouldn't necessarily say laws, but programs. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think that the city has a really robust program for entrepreneurs, a small business loan program. There are a number of programs that the city offers that can help people of color, Black folk in particular, like the ability to purchase vacant and abandoned properties, and we have those. I mean, the whole notion of like flipping houses is really big business right now, especially on television. And I think if more black people got into flipping houses, that could certainly be a way to not only reclaim property but also help with economic empowerment. I just think that the problem is that a lot of Black people don't know these programs exist, and so by the time Black folk reach their 20s and are of the age where they can start their own business, they've already ruined their credit, gotten
For
cars,
sure.